For this lesson, as in others we've done, if you have anything on your primary storyline down here, go ahead and get rid of it. And then I want you to drag this guy down here. So press the letter E on your keyboard, just like that. Let's go ahead and talk about working above the primary storyline. Let's go ahead and bring this guy down here. Now, in a previous lesson, we made a selection with in-out points. If they're there, that's fine. If they're not, that's fine too. Doesn't matter. Drag it down. But don't drag it all the way down. Leave it up here somewhere. Put it where you want it to be and let go. Now, once we have it up there like this, it does work, in a sense, independently of the main storyline down here. So we can come over here if we want to and change its duration. But let's not stop there. Let's bring down another one like this one. And again, if the selection is there, fine. If it isn't, that's fine too. Go ahead and drag that one down and do the same thing. Now, the first thing you might notice is that we're not getting that magnetic effect, are we? It's allowing us to put it anywhere we want without a gap in here. So we have that kind of control. If you are using these for B-rolls, they do take over the story, don't they? So if I get, say, about here and play this for you, back and forth, that is, in a sense, a secondary storyline. There are a lot of reasons to use something like this. For example, I was doing something not much different than this video we took from digitaljuice.com, and a bird flew right in front of the lens. But I didn't catch it until I got home and started editing, and where I took the images were like 150 kilometers away. I'm not going back. So let's say this area right here represents where the bird flew in. If I have another video I can put in there, looks pretty natural. Comes back out, the bird's gone. So you can use them for that. I've mentioned this one before. You're doing an interview. The guy's talking about wind turbines. You cut to wind turbines. There's a lot of reasons you can use these. Right now they are independent. We can move them independent of the main storyline. But what if the integrity of the distance between those two needs to be maintained, but you do want to move them? How do we maintain that exact integrity between them? Do this. Pick up your selection tool, click on this one, hold down the Shift key and click on this one. Right-click your mouse and go down to Create Storyline. Now watch what happens when I do this. Basically, it turns it into a storyline just like this one. We now have a gap in there. If I take that gap out, they're going to stick together like magnets. But it gives me the ability to control it as a unit and move it anywhere we want it to be. Now I'm going to press undo once or twice here and get back to that. Another thing that you can do here if they are selected. Let's say you know what you're doing. That's exactly where they're supposed to be. They're totally taking over the primary storyline, because they are, and you don't really want them up there. If they're selected, right-click your mouse again and go down to Overwrite to Primary Storyline and watch what happens. They go right in there. Now, the effect in terms of what people see would be exactly the same, but using a technique like this helps you reduce maybe some of the confusion and some of the other things that go on when you have multiple storylines. Now, anytime you want to, you can pull them back out, even if it's a month later, because we're talking about non-destructive editing. So when you're working above the primary storyline, understand that you have the ability to create a secondary storyline that is controlled very similar to the primary. It's all about control.